Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this evening's Divine Feminine Oracle Show. With me, of course, are the two amazing Meg and Sophie, amazing from the Psychic Spies. You can find them, of course, at MAISONJupiter.com here on the web, and also here on YouTube at Maison Jupiter. Meg, Sophie, welcome back to the show. How are you guys?
Hi, JC. Hi, Meg. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Who's going to talk first?
Go ahead, Meg. Go ahead.
I'm excied that JC is here with us. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, oh yeah,
Really?
I used to do these shows. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight on this live interactive show. Julie is on vacation this week, and she's asked me to step up and take the reins on the show. So I'm excited to do that. Also a little bit nervous. You know, these guys are absolutely amazing, and they've grown leaps and bounds since the last time I had them on the show. So I'm excited for that. If you guys have any questions, of course, for both Meg and Sophie during the show, please put them in high caps. And you can also use the super chats on the Maison Jupiter YouTube channel as well. And we'll try to get to those questions later on at the end of the show. Now, guys, just yesterday, you had a very enticing title or subtitle with the Psychic Spy shows, Caitlyn Jenner. She's got balls. So what was that all about? Share with the audience members here how amazing this episode is.
Yeah, so we were sharing, we were thinking, wow, I'm still getting my words messed up. We were thinking about sharing a Psychic Spies investigation on Caitlyn Jenner because she's the most famous transgender person in the world and happens to be a freedom fighter and a patriot. And that's what's being projected onto us. But Sophie and I wanted to see, is that who she really is? So it was a very cool investigation. Is there anything that you feel like sharing about it, Sophie?
Just that we discovered ties with past life. Also, I always love to look at mission and also with past life. And we discovered a link with Kardashian and Presley family. So I think it's very interesting that we see the links between the powerful families.
Mm-hmm. And how they all come back and collude at the same time. But it appears now, and I don't want to give away the total of the episodes here, but it appears that the person on the screen now is somewhat moving back towards the light, as the title is suggesting. There still has balls to fight for freedom and also to speak against certain things that we're not necessarily allowed to speak here on YouTube. What was your gut on that? Is she 50% on the way back, 70%? Was he there the whole time? Like, where would you peg this?
In terms of what?
In terms of their willingness to really fight for humanity as opposed to being married to this huge propaganda class and money-making class and mindfuck class that the Kardashian family really is.
So I had that exact same question, JC, and I was feeling unsure. And Sophie is the one that got the clarity, which this is so trippy. So this is something that we'll share with you guys. Because It's like, how can this person, like JC, you just said, how can this person who's a part of the Kardashian dynasty, surrounded by this agenda, definitely some people a part of the dark arts, how is he a freedom fighting patriot that's protecting, like, what the heck's going on here?
Right.
And what came up was there's something called the Kardashian curse, which the cards show that is like a real thing. Where that comes from, we're not totally sure. Maybe if we do another Psychic Spies investigation, we'll get deeper into that. But what Sophie kind of brought up and revealed was that because Caitlyn, and I hope I say this in the right way, tell me, Sophie, but because Caitlyn transitioned into being a woman, transgender woman, not a biological woman. And Caitlyn knows she's not a biological woman. She's not one of these people like pretending that she's a biological woman. Right. Because she made that shift, it's kind of taken her out of that program.
Karmic loop?
It kind out of the karmic loop. It shifted the energy. It's like really interesting.
Wow.
Really interesting.
Okay.
We don't want to give too much because you have to watch this and it's going to blow your mind, I'm sure. But there is some big stuff unveiling there.
Okay, it's really cool. Well, I love the beginning of the show last night, and Meg, you were having trouble speaking your words, and I was laughing, not at you, but I was laughing at the fact that I've been having that same issue for a whole week in all my shows. I'm like struggling to speak and to pronounce and to enunciate. What's going on? I thought we were done with this Mercury retrograde.
I think you have the answer there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Meg, but in the beginning, when we talked in the DFO and the Divine Feminine Oracle, when we talked about this this Mercury retrograde being in the eclipse season, I asked Meg if the effect of this eclipse is staying for 6 months after the actual date, and it's Mercury retrograde during the eclipse, are we going to stay in the energy of Mercury retrograde for 6 months? And I think we are.
Oh, okay. Don't say that. Okay.
I think we are.
Okay. Meg, your thoughts on that before we move forward?
I agree with Sophie that we're going to have like a light influence over the next 6 months of a Mercury retrograde energy. Not that it's full blown, but it's like a light influence.
Okay.
And there's some intense things going on right now astrologically that we're going to get into that can kind of also be, the energy is a little bit wonky where we can be feeling physically off, not able to use our words correctly. There can be communication breakdowns. So we'll definitely get into all of that.
Wow. Okay. I have a question with respect to that before we start the show. But first, Lorianne, thank you so much. She says, Jason, I miss you interviewing the Divine Feminine Oracles. Well, so am I. Actually, I'm happy to be here. It feels oddly, what's the word? Not reminiscent. Nostalgic is the word. Yeah, it feels nostalgic. Thank you, Peggy, for the 3 hearts. Appreciate that. Okay, in terms of this retrograde lasting a couple of months, when we had the Queen of the Ravens last week on, or it could have been on the Monday show, we were trying to decode some of these next indictments, and we'll tread carefully here on YouTube, and when precisely we would see actual justice being carried out in public view. And we're getting a lot of rumbles of perhaps new court cases, new investigations being put back on the docket here that were, somewhat swept away with the FBI in the last couple of years. And we were figuring, well, is that going to bring justice right away? Is that just rhetoric for now, setting the stage? And it appeared in the timing, also from the WebAuth data, and also from what Janine was pulling, that we were looking at maybe September in terms of having actual visible justice being played out, maybe in terms of Nuremberg trials 2.0, something like that. So where does the retrograde fit in all of this? Because even now, between those 2 eclipses, we were expecting big fireworks. Now, to some extent, we did. We had Trump on CNN. We had Anderson Cooper leaving. We had all the revelations about the Russiagate being... I can't get too much into that. But anyways, there's a lot that already came out. But somehow we were expecting maybe a little bit more. And both of you guys were pulling that because of this retrograde, many things would happen, but it would remain obscure for us for quite some time. Now, we thought it was for the retrograde period, and we just moved out of it last week. But still, there's some obscureness here in what's happening in our political world. Meg, you're on the screen first. What do you think right now? Are we going to have a drip, drip, drop until September? Are we going to have a big tower card moment here this month after this retrograde is over? What's your feel on when we're going to see this big fireworks show here in public view? Not in the conspiracy world of Beyond Mystic and the tinfoil hatters, but in public view. Meg, what do you say?
I really feel that when the North Node moves into Aries in the middle of July, this is going to be an absolutely huge shift. But before then, we're going to be out of the post-Mercury retrograde shadow period by the end of May, beginning of June. So we'll be in Gemini season, which Gemini rules clarity, freedom of speech. Gemini is not just communication. We're always talking about, Gemini, communication and talking a lot. Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is freedom of speech and truth. So when we get out of this post-shadow period, the truth and clarity of what's really going on here in terms of the governments, in terms of the indictments, the financial system, I think it's going to be a really quick pace rollout all of a sudden where all this clarity comes. Definitely going to start before July, before the North Node goes into Aries. But when that North Node goes into Aries, this is going to be, Aries is in the present moment. Aries is all in the present moment. Aries wants to know things right now, right here. And the energy in the collective is not North Node and Taurus. We'll just sit around and see what happens. We'll just wait until the banks fall. No, North Node and Aries is a collective. We need to know what's happening right now. And it's going to be palpable. So I think before September, for sure, things like that are going to start happening.
And we'd start seeing rumblings of it maybe first week of June in earnest. We still have like this
first week of June where things start rumbling, and then in the summer, it really picks up, I think.
Okay, that's interesting. Janine just recorded this show earlier today, guys. If you haven't seen it, the Quick Draw Tuesday, she got into this idea of these 60,000 pounds of fertilizer that's missing, the fact that some, maybe half of the senators were issued satellite phones for some type of weird event going on. And she was asking whether or not people should be prepping for maybe I'll just say a bad event, quote unquote, and maybe some type of martial law subsequent to that. And there was a magician card, but there was a kind of a yes also to it. So meaning, yes, it could be contrived, but that also means that you might want to stock up and prepare your stores just in case this doesn't go exactly to plan. Sophie, what about you? In terms of timing of all this, retrograde moving out, big fireworks coming out, what do you see?
Okay, so the fact that we have this slight effect of Mercury retrograde, for me, it's going to be positive. So just intuitively, I feel that things from the past can resurface that we didn't know about, things that were done, that were hidden, we're going to learn about. Mercury, Gemini, sorry, it's the Mercury energy. Gemini season is going to bring more information. Let's see with the cards what they have to say. Some people say that they love the sound of the cards. So now I don't put myself on mute when I shuffle. Apparently, it's like really relaxing or something.
It's relaxing.
We need to get you guys or get you a card view. Those are exciting. People love that. And for myself, I'll speak for myself. In the last couple of months where we've introduced that to the Beyond the News and some of other shows on the Beyond Raven series on Rumble, and I think another show on YouTube, or no, not on YouTube, on the pay-per-view, I'm learning more and more about the cards because as she's pulling, she's telling us what they are and how they relate to each other. And I keep getting a lot of compliments from the audience members saying they love that too. So anyways, we'll keep going.
Well, maybe you're going to not like how I read the cards then, because I read completely different. I just let the cards, sometimes I don't even see them with my eyes. Sometimes the cards are just showing me things in my head. There I see visions, I hear things. It's just, I know stuff without making sense of the cards. Okay. Sometimes I pull cards and Julie is like, where did you see this information? It's somewhere. So let's see what we have. We have Ace of Swords, so communication, clarity, and yes, new information is going to resurface. The fact that we have this man pulling this sword like this in the air with the birds, it's really freeing. With all of those birds around, this information is going to free people. And the fact that we have some, lightning, I was searching for the word, lightning around the sword, for me, it's Uranus. So it's going to be really coming out of the blue. It's going to be surprising for everyone. It's going to be freeing. And the fact that we have Army card right there, planification, it's something that happened before for me, and that is going to surface to maybe leak information, something like that. And the last card that we have is the Lover. So it's going to be new alliances. So going to be new team being created, and people are going to get together to be able to unite and make new choices and just unite together against something.
Speaking of new alliances, Joe, let me see if I can bring it up here. Realist News. Did a video the other day, or I think it was earlier this morning. He talked about, okay, so let me bring this up on the screen for you guys here. This video here, 20 years ago, there was a specific message that had come out of the WebBot data, kind of like top of page where all the words merged into a weird phrase. And the weird phrase went something like this. And this was exactly 20 years ago, like this month. And the phrase went, in 20 years from now, ETs will come, it'll be a crazy day, and they will ask to have breakfast with you. So it's convoluted, but the message was, in 20 years from now, expect ETs to drop in and want to have breakfast with you. And funny enough, Igor, who's Cliff High's assistant, working on all of this technical stuff for a number of years, his wife just had a dream that ETs dropped in the other day to have breakfast, bacon and eggs with them. So it spooked the shit out of him, and they went back and looked at this WebBot data. And speaking of alliances, the card you're picking up now too, we've gone through now back and forth for the last 2 days, trying to kind of understand what's going on with all of that. And more people are having dreams. More people are having some weird issues, including some contactees who are having different phenomena. I'll just say that for now here for the show here tonight, happening to them at the same time. So it appears that we are being front-loaded by something, either in the dreamscape or in the astral or perhaps other dimensions, that this rapprochement with the ETs are coming maybe sooner than later. Speak about that. Meg, first, your thoughts on whether or not this alliance card that Sophie was picking up could relate to that, and also your general understanding here of what's happening in the ET contactee experiencer world and how that ties in with the bad guys trying to do an alien invasion to change the channel, and whether or not it could be the bad ETs coming in or maybe the good ones with the alliance, like Sophie was speaking. So let's try to untangle that as best we can here.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm being guided to say that this week, which I'm going to talk more about in my Beyond Astro tomorrow report, we're going to be having the Sun square Saturn, the Sun in Gemini square Saturn in Pisces. This is going to be, I feel, for this week and next week, some illusory news coming out that people may get really excited about. Like, oh my God, maybe this could have to do with ETs. Because with Saturn and Pisces rules things that are otherworldly. We're all of us, soul family, we're just like on the edge of our seats, ready for full disclosure, ready for things to transform. We're ready for some news. And I'm just kind of getting the sense that the bad guys may use this week and possibly even next week to try to put some information out that's not accurate and it's not real. So we need to be aware of that, you guys, that yes, disclosure is 100% coming. We know that we're starseeds. We know we're fully supported. We know that the governments are already, they've been working with star people for a very long time, good and, not so good. It is going to come out, I'm hearing, in due time. I'm getting that the mainstream is going to try to push something, whether this is within the next 2 weeks with the Sun square Saturn, or at some point in the near future where it's not what it seems to be. And they definitely want to pull that fake alien invasion. That's like their last crazy card they would do, right? Yeah. Or maybe not their last one, but one of their big ones, to control the narrative and to put us in a trauma response state so that they can control us easier. So
in a way, it is their last card, and it is a double-edged sword, because the minute they pull it out to change the channel, also comes out with that is all the secrecy, all the money that went into it, where those assets were, all the people that died to keep all these secrets. So eventually it actually terminates their whole power structure even faster, but it might give them a reprieve of, who knows, maybe a couple of months or a couple of weeks. We don't know. Talk about, and I want to ask the audience members here too, are you guys dreaming of ETs, first of all, in the show? Let us know on the live stream if you're dreaming of ETs. Somebody says, I hope ETs don't expect me to do or cook breakfast. You know what? I'd like to cook breakfast for ETs. I think it would kind of break the ice a little bit and say, hey, Bob, do you want some avocado on that omelet? I'm not sure. Anyways, we'll see what they say. But let us know in the chat what you guys think about these ETs, if you're already seeing them or dreaming or seeing with these weird clouds that keep telling you that something's around the air. Let me ask you while you're on the screen here too, are you seeing an uptick from your side of things, Meg, where either you're dreaming it or maybe feeling different presences lately? Explain that or share that with the audience.
My dreams personally have been hazy lately. I've been having the eclipses have been activating my 12th house of Pisces. So I've been deep sleep, not remembering dreams very clearly, like needing the rest time when I sleep. But I am feeling in the waking life during the days, like all of a sudden I'll just have a moment where I can feel a being extraterrestrial, like outside of the window or in the house. And when you feel like somebody's physically there, but I'm not seeing anything. So I have been noticing that more and wondering what that's about. So that's interesting what you're bringing up with the dreams.
Okay. Sophie, how about you? Weird dreams, thoughts, feelings?
No, you know what? Well, thoughts and feelings, yes, because as you guys are also, I really feel something is coming and I can feel my energy going there already. It's, if I were to pull cards on my energy right now, I know that most of it is going to what is going to happen. We're already feeding it. So if you're feeling more maybe drained, or if you're feeling anxious, it's because you know what is coming subconsciously and you're preparing for it. Your energy is going to that place. But personally, my dreams right now, since Gemini season, I I just remembered I was Gemini season because intuitively 3 days ago, I started to sleep with affirmation during the night. So either meditation, guided meditation when I sleep, or affirmation. So I can use affirmation with my subconscious. And it's Gemini season. So it's really good to do that.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Carla says, holy shit, I'm glad you guys are talking about this. I saw a gray in my room last month. Okay. I don't think I want to see a gray for breakfast. That might scare me a little bit for sure. But that's interesting, Carla. Thank you for sharing. I had this dream. So just a couple of days ago, again, we were sharing this through back and forth through email. So Cliff had sent us this weird text line that showed up in the web data 20 years ago, talked about Igor's wife's dream. Then Joe had a dream, Bix had a dream, and I also had a dream all at the same time. And we're like, okay, that's weird. Just because we brought it up, it was all there on the surface for us ready to discuss. So I'll share mine in case it makes sense to any of you, because I saw a few people in the chat saying, no, nothing from my end. And when I tell you my dream, you might go back and look at some dreams you had in the last couple of days and go, oh, maybe I wasn't looking at it from the right perspective. So in my particular case, I was driving a motorbike, trying to get back home. And this was... I'm probably 20 years old, 25 years old, something like that. And I got lost off of this weird freeway that I never recognized. I don't remember embarking on, but I remembered having this dream before where I'm on this weird freeway thinking I'm going to where I live, going back home. And then suddenly I'm in the boondocks somewhere. And so I take the first exit and I realize I'm running out of gas. So I'm lost and I'm running out of gas. So I take this first exit off the highway and I go to this gas station. And as I get there, everything's dark. There's no electricity. There's no numbers on the gas pumps. There's no lights, saying open or anything. And I'm like, maybe the gas station is closed. And I look around and everything else is like completely dark. So there's like no power whatsoever, but there's like 3 like weird silhouettes hanging by the gas pumps. So I'm like, I'll go check them out. Maybe there's a way to get gas, like maybe I can siphon gas or whatever. I don't need much. I'm on a motorbike, right? So I drive up to these fellows and I say, hey, I'm lost. I need gas and all that. Can you guys help me out? And they take out what looks like from a pack sack or a weird bag, like a chemistry set. And they start like mixing stuff together. And then suddenly it dawns on me to look at them specifically because I was looking at what they were doing with the chemistry set. And they were trying to help me out. But I looked at them and it's like all their skins were like hanging off of their bone, kind of like an Edgar suit in the Men in Black. And I was like, fuck. I woke up really fast and I was in sweats, realizing these were people or different people pretending to be humans wearing Edgar suits, but they were still nice and they were trying to help me along so I could, anyways, try not to scare me. Anyway, so that was my dream. So while I have you on the screen, Sophie, I'd like you to pull cards on that. Like, what was the meaning there? Were they telling you something was coming up where we're having this weird blackout period, whether in communications or whether in knowledge, that it would be like a dark time for some period where this ETs would come up? And still the idea that they were trying to help me with this chemistry set to me was like, oh, we're not going to use the gas pumps. That's old technology. We're going to make something even better for you and put it in your bike. That's what I got from the message. But let's pull some cards and see what they had to say.
Union. You remember the first card was with the Lover card, I had new alliances. We have now union. So it goes in the same sense. Underneath the deck, as I do that, we have government, control, and structure. And we have trouble that just fell. So let's see what else comes in. So
government, structure, and trouble. That could be the blackouts, or
that could be
that. I have to bring up a little piece of the information here before we go forward. In some other communications that kind of relate to what we're just talking about here too. Apparently, there's some military guys who work for contractors who are very, very on edge right now, also thinking that the ETs are going to come out, and that the moment they do, it completely destroys government, or any lack of, or any last shred of confidence we have in government. It's gone out the window. It doesn't exist anymore. So I needed to bring that in here. And please go ahead and continue reading.
No, it's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up, because if you remember, one of the 3 cards that I had was also army. So we have army and alliances. So I think all of what you're saying is going back with what I had in the beginning, that maybe we're going to have information coming in that is leaked by maybe army or from some alliances that works elsewhere in the world, off-world. And for me, it makes a lot of sense when I look at your dream, because yes, it was a bad dream. I have the card of not sleeping, so nightmare, anxiety, 9 of Swords. You have this and the Hermit and Observer. So for me, it's more of a vision that you were granted than just a dream, than just a nightmare. It's more of a something that because of your soul that is advanced, you were granted that vision. And now it's also to prepare people that are not ready to be the father that is going to bring comfort and explain that vision and what is coming, so we can bridge that gap for everybody. And now this community is going to be aware of what is coming and is going to be prepared.
Okay, just fell off my chair. Because as you were saying that, I was going to joke to the effect that, okay, I went back to sleep after waking up in a nightmare and right back into that same movie or vision I was in, actually. And the ETs were kind of joking at me that, oh yeah, we watch your show all the time on the Pleiades. It's on the Pleiades channel or something like that. So I'm like, what? What are you guys talking about? I'm just 20. I don't even have a YouTube show yet. Anyways, it was kind of weird. Meg, your thoughts on all that? Do you want to pull the Normand cards too, like just to get maybe more into the message too? I really love what Meg just pulled out right now too. It really helps me out. And I understand that perhaps this is a big part of where Beyond Mystic is eventually going also. As all of this disclosure comes out, we are going to be having these conversations, helping humanity bridge the gap here between the unknowing and the knowing that we're not alone. I always thought that was going to be a big part of the show. Perhaps at that point, we'll be able to speak about this on YouTube. If not, it'll be on Rumble. But I always thought that was part of the mission. But anyways, Meg, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so I just pulled some cards, but before I pulled the cards, I was feeling to share that it's very interesting that you're bringing this up, JC, because this week the planet Uranus, which is in Taurus right now, and Uranus rules extraterrestrials, things that are weird, ETs, star people, UFOs, all that stuff, their technology and higher technology is going from 19 degrees to 20 degrees. And Uranus is a really slow moving planet. So it takes him years and years and years to go through each sign. So the fact he's going into 20 degrees this week gives him a different vibration. And 20 degrees, which is one of the cards I pulled, is a Scorpio degree. Scorpio is revealing. Uranus is ETs and higher technology and disclosure. And we're going to have this Uranus at 20 degrees for the next month, 2 months. And interesting, I also pulled 11th house community, and that makes me laugh because I feel like we are aliens, and it's like so ridiculous because we are star people incarnated in beautiful human bodies right now, and like we are the disclosure is what I'm feeling. And the dark arts people are going to try to control the narrative. That's also Scorpio, lies and illusions. I think a lot of us know that's a card that they will play in a desperate, pathetic attempt to try to take away our star knowledge, our soul wisdom of who we are and who our real soul family community is. It's not the dark arts people that have been controlling us in this age of Pisces. It's the star people. So I'm feeling this really natural progression of us connecting to them more and more through the dreams, which is so cool you're bringing that up. Like I've been feeling them physically around me, but not physically seeing them. Maybe I'm not ready for that yet. That would be pretty intense. I'd love to, but you know, when you're in your day-to-day and feeling them and working or whatever, maybe it's not the best time to see a huge Andromedan just pop up. Like that would be pretty shocking, right? So it's like a natural progression where as we're going into this age of Aquarius and our third eyes are opening and normies awareness is opening, there's no stopping it. There's absolutely no stopping it. So they can try to pull their little cards, but it's not going to work. And I feel it ramping up. And I think with Uranus at 20 degrees, this is some kind of disclosure definitely happening within the next month and a half. What that is could have to do with maybe aliens showing themselves. Spirit is showing me crop circles, which is interesting because I don't know a whole lot about crop circles. I'd love to know more about crop circles, but Spirit is showing me that right now. There could be like a really interesting crop circle that comes up over the next month and a half. So any of you guys that follow the crop circles, let us know in the Discord or comments of the videos if you see anything cool. The star family is going to reveal something to us for sure.
Wow. Okay. So there's a couple of funny comments here. So somebody says, yes, this is Deep Woo. Somebody asked what I was smoking before going to bed. No, don't smoke anything. It's not my style. There wasn't that. And somebody was asking on the Rumble feed. First of all, thank you for watching us here on the Rumble feed. Were you watching The Walking Dead before going to bed? No. And again, I'm 20. The Walking Dead doesn't exist yet. So it's kind of like everything else looked like it did when I was in my 20s in my hometown. So not related to the zombie apocalypse or anything like that. It was just kind of a weary thing. Soulstar 11, live from the Pleiades. It's the Beyond Mystic Divine Feminine Oracle show. With me tonight is, I don't know, from Tagata or whatever. That'll be funny, yes, to have a Pleiadian show. Somebody said, JC, you're going to be interviewing an ET. There you go, Mara. Okay. I want to speak about this too. So this is... I want to say it's a dream, but it's not a dream. It's a recurring vision that I've had both in sleep time, in daydreaming, and also just in meditation. And it goes like this. I'm in front of this huge, huge wall, backdrop behind me. I'm at a podium, and I'm explaining things to a large crowd of people. And as I'm pointing to the back, the whole wall is kind of like a 3D screen. And so when I say something, whatever I'm talking about comes to life on the wall. It's like a very interactive 3D kind of holographic show, like in Star Trek type of thing. And it's a really and I'm amazed because I'm talking. I'm like, whoa, this is cool presentation skills, right? I have this little YouTube channel, but it's nothing like in this particular vision. And then I'm looking at the wall, and then suddenly I go back. And that spotlight that's on you, as a presenter, usually it blinds you to everybody else that's in front, right? You see this big glaring white light. That thing goes off for half a second, and I see the whole crowd, and none of them are human. So it's all different colors, antennas, like weird stuff, and I wake up. So that was my dream. And a couple of years ago, I went to this retreat in Sedona, and we were paired up. We were doing this meditation practice where you were paired up with somebody. You stare in their eyes, I think it was 15 or 20 minutes or so. And then you make a painting of whatever you saw getting from the other person. And when I did that with this other person, she drew me at the podium with the wall and a bunch of ETs in front. So I was like, whoa, okay, that's interesting. So when somebody said, hey, JC, you're going to interview an ET, or maybe you're live from the Pleiades, is that really what's already happening now? Am I already in that role? Can I get you guys to pull cards on that and fill in? Let me ask Sophie first to see if we can get some cards on that. And I also want to extrapolate that to both of you and the audience members, because if we're all here having this conversation right now, it's not a happenstance. It's not a coincidence. It's because we're tuned into these frequencies. And if we're tuned into these frequencies, most likely we're acting and exerting force or pressure into that reality as well, whether we know it or not at this particular stage of our evolution. But I think that's coming up really soon. So, Sophie, what was that dream vision about?
You asked for this. So your soul was asking for either a challenge, because it says you were bored. So you were asking for a challenge. Knowing a bit about your life, I have a hard time thinking you were bored at any point. But anyway, apparently you were asking for more of a challenge. And also what we have is that you wanted to bring a change. So we have teamwork, patch it up. So patch it up, for me, it implies that there is something to repair. Also, we have here 4 of Cups. So this is boredom for me in this reading. And then it says that it's your zone of comfort. We have cozy, safe, and familiar. With it feels so right on this card. And it says Ace of Cups. So it is your zone of comfort. And you ask for this. Is it in your mission? You would have other challenges without this one, but you ask for this. So yes, it is something that is coming for you. And if you're not already doing it, because you may be really doing it already, but it is your zone of comfort. I think it's something that you already mastered in the past. So you didn't need to do it in this life, but you ask for it.
Wow, that's fascinating. I did have a medicine man from the Yakima tribe do a reading on me. He says, no, dude, you're already doing this. You just don't know yet. But you're already affecting this first wave of communication, I think were the words that he had used. And I was kind of like, okay. It's kind of hard to grasp in one seating. Meg, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I really feel when you were sharing that, GC, I was feeling like at some point within our lifetimes, we will be having gatherings actually with ETs, whether they're physical or non-physical, and we're connecting to them, and it's kind of normal. And it feels very blissful. It feels very natural. It sounds really out there, but when we're not in this matrix living, that is totally normal. Like there's so many star people from all different planets that all hang out and they're friends and they have conventions. It's interesting that that word keeps coming up in the chat, like on different planets and meeting up. So I think, JC, that you're like the word coming through is wisdom keeper. And I got the book card. Holding it down here on the earth. And you're going to be a part of bringing these ETs, different star people, different star seeds together. This is also about us all getting together more in person. I feel like our different star seed energies getting together in person, and all our guides being around each other as well. And yeah, I keep getting the message with what you're saying, JC. In this lifetime, we're going to have gatherings with people that are from really far away, our star family and star people. So really cool.
Okay, you're just blowing my mind. Show that card about the bookkeeper. Okay, let me see if I can get this. So Sarah had this made for me for Christmas. You guys are going to freak out. I'm going to bring it up. Hold on a second here. I'll bring this one down. And there you go. Okay, so.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nuts? Anyways, I cried when I saw this thing because I'm like, oh my God. It's like, it's so me. But the book, okay, so going back to the book, I had been dreaming about this crazy book that ETs gave me since I was a kid. And I always had to hide this book here on the planet. And I would hide it in school in all of these places, in my locker room, underneath the bleachers and the basketball stadium or whatever. And those were dreams as a kid. But when I took my Reiki Master course, so 2009, 10 or something like that, one of the Reiki Ascended Masters that was working with me, she decoded that, yes, I had this book. And through this guided meditation, I went through it, and it was like a chrome, metallic, liquid kind of chrome book. And when you hold it, if you're at the right frequency, you can open it. If you're not, it's just like a chrome brick. It doesn't open. It's not even a book. But if you're at the right frequency and you have the symbol, so I won't do the symbol, but there's a symbol on the book that is also my personal symbol. I won't get into that long story, but if you have the symbol, you open up the book, and then the chrome kind of liquefies and gives you the words on it. So they're all spells, incantations, and missions. And what this Ascended Reiki Master had told me was that I had gone through other planets doing the same types of mission that I'm doing on here now, and that's why I had access to that book. And there's other people on this planet right now that are in triune energy who also have access to that book. And I've met 2 already of those people. Weird happenstances, could be a whole 2-hour show just talking about that. What's your gut feeling hearing the thing about the book? And also for the audience members too, go back to your dreams also of anything that somebody gave to you as a kid in a recurring dream, and start thinking about why that's important now and how that ties into your mission. I beg of you, because that's where all the keys are, or all the codes are to you being empowered in your mission. Meg, what are your thoughts on that book?
It feels like what's going on with the book so far in your life, and tell me if this doesn't resonate, but has been kind of like your own thing. You're sharing it vibrationally, but maybe not actually sharing specific words or information from the book publicly. This is Gemini, information in books, one of the cards I just pulled. I feel like you're going to be sharing that information. And it's interesting because a lot of people in the comments are saying, I'm getting goosebumps about us all getting together. This is you and others like you with the books, different sacred knowledge from off planet, helping us to remember those things, because it feels like it's all of our wisdom, but some of us are the keepers of it. and also helping normies to learn things too. And this feels like a big responsibility karmically, Saturn. It's not easy to have one of these books in your possession energetically. Granddaddy Saturn.
My ascendant Reiki master had told me that it was going to be very difficult on my body throughout my life holding the frequency to be able to access that book. And she had told me a bunch of things that I needed to do throughout my life to ground more, to eat different things. Different times in my life, I needed to eat more salt, just like a weird regimen of things that she had downloaded with that. Sophie, let me ask you to channel, because in this particular picture, I'm in 3D having access to the book. Let me bring this back up for the visual for the audience member. There you go. I'm here in 3D having access to the book. But for now, for me, it's mostly in dreamscape and I don't remember. So if there was something right now that the book wanted to say or to share with me and the audience, of course, what would that be? Let's see if we can pull cards on that.
You want me to pull cards on to channel? Because
both. Whatever you feel would be the most apropos.
You know that Reiki is the same vibration as the Ascended Master Metatron that also has the Akashic record. And I think this book is the Akashic record for off-worlders. And I think it's not written yet. I think you're still writing it as you go along your journey. So I think most of it is already, when you open it, there is words, but it is still being written by you.
It makes sense. So that ties into something else another shaman told me in New Mexico. That does make sense. There's part of this book that is not written yet. There's part of it that can access, and there's a part of it that already is written up that is enabling me to meet other triune humans. And there's a specific definition to that. We can probably do a whole other show on that, but that's been very fascinating. Okay. Meg, you? Any ideas on what perhaps the book would share with the audience members?
It feels very multi-dimensional to me. It feels like the book is holding information to be shared at this time and in the coming times. And it also feels like the book is recording information to bring back to whatever places you're really soul connected to. So it's like a sharing of the information, but also a record keeping, maybe Akashic record keeping of the information as well. Really interesting.
Wow. So that Ascended Reiki lady, she had drawn, can I share this with you? How much time do we have? We're at 41 minutes in. Okay, we didn't get to the astrology. Do you guys, okay.
Everybody's loving this. Everybody's loving this.
Okay. All right. So yeah, okay, I'll share this. Okay, so as a kid, I was really, this is why I asked everybody on the show the first time on the show, did you look up at the stars? Did you feel out of place? Did you feel like you were dropped on the wrong planet? Because I very much, of course, feel that way and felt that way as a kid. And in one of my first deep healing sessions, my teacher had told me that I was supposed to have been given something like an amulet type of thing that would help me bridge the years from my childhood to whenever I would step into my mission. And for some reason, that damn thing didn't come through. And so my early childhood was very difficult because I didn't have that sense of, I knew I was not from here. I love my parents. They were great. I had a great childhood, but I knew they were just not my family. And so it was really odd for me as a kid. And so she had channeled the emblem of this particular amulet at that time. So we're talking about, again, 2008, 2009. And just a month ago, about a month ago, Sarah and I did a bufo ceremony, that little frog thing you take. And in that one, Sylvie, who's coming up on the show here, she's going to blow your socks off, everybody. She's coming up soon here with her new course on the Academy. So she was doing the ceremony for us. She had just been back from Egypt doing her priestess course. And she drew the exact same amulet as this other person in 2009. So I was like, again, blown away in understanding how that sacred geometry was anchoring me into a specific place for a period of time where I could be here, but be undercover, gathering all the information, gathering all the knowledge, the confidence, et cetera, everything I would need to eventually be on stage and do what I'm doing now and what presumably I'm about to do, because I haven't actually done what I'm supposed to do yet, apparently. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. And so I wanted to ask you guys, and ask the audience members too, are you having that same feeling also, where perhaps there was a piece that didn't come through with you and that you're trying to get back? Because if so, doing these ceremonies, whether it's bufo, ayahuasca, some other psychedelics, might help you pull those pieces back into you and really activate you even more. And not just activate you in the sense of putting you someplace where you weren't supposed to be, but putting you or bringing you back to where you were supposed to be, if that makes sense. What are your first thoughts on that, hearing this, Sophie? I want to hear your thoughts, and then we'll go to Meg.
I don't know if this is the same topic, but as you were speaking, we had a lot of synchronicity with your words and what I was thinking the same exact time. So I think I have to say that story. When I was really young, I was always drawing the same thing, always. I was drawing myself with a dress that was like 1500, and I was drawing a castle from the inside, always. And my dad would talk about past life that we had in Egypt. So you said Egypt in exact same time. And he was taking the potion of Saint Germain, so for longevity and eternal life. And this is also Metatron with the sacred geometry. This is all the same energy, the purple flame, which I studied since I am a teenager, because the group that I was in of friends, we were channeling from the age of maybe 14. And we were channeling with the sacred geometry and things like that. So I've always been more on the human side and off-world, but I've always been in the side of the purple flame. So it's interesting that what she said, because maybe going back with this kind of ceremony can bring me this missing piece where I could get more into that energy.
And just so you know, just to add to that, the reason all of my posters and my logos are that color, it's because the amulet shines that color as well. So I'm very much into that purple flame. And my mom reminded me when that first woman draw the symbol, that I was drawing that symbol nonstop in automatic writing when I was 7 or 8 years old. And in school, like, that's all I would do. I wouldn't take notes from the class. I would just draw the exact symbol that this lady drew. It's just absolutely, like, you can't make this stuff up. Meg, your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. So cool. So yeah, I don't have a specific symbol or something that's come to me, or a physical object that I see dimensionally that I remember. But I am aware that I am doing a lot on the astral plane at all times. I have people messaging me, sharing with me that I show up in their dreams, that I do healings with them in their dreams, when they're meditating, all this stuff. So I know I'm doing a lot of work, not just physically, but also on the astral planes as well. And yeah, I think that doing plant medicine can be great if you're doing it with someone who is 100% the real deal and a really good space holder. Yeah. If you don't feel comfortable in a certain situation doing it with certain practitioners, then don't do it, because you want to make sure it can bring back parts of your aura, but if we do it with the wrong people, it can lose parts of our aura. So we just want to be really aware of that, but very powerful stuff.
Wow, cool. Lorianne says you're an undercover human. Yeah, that was also something that came up many, many times when I went for tarot, other psychic readers, divination people. They would always start the reading on me and then go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. You're undercover." Or they would get like another entity come in the room and, "Shh, don't tell him he's undercover." So that's kind of fascinating. You guys are saying that. Going to the purple flame, and I wish everyone watching the show could try this. The first time I saw purple flame was in a how do you call it, a sensory deprivation tank, like a floating tank where you buy to go float for an hour in this like little cocoon type of thing, completely dark, no sound, and you're floating in this salt water. And so I tried this a number of years back. Again, I was hearing voices, so this is all because I was like going crazy, hearing the neighbors, and and I was trying to not just calm down, but have a little bit more control over my life about all of these voices and things that were in my head. And so I was trying a lot of different techniques, including the sensory deprivation tank. And within about 10 minutes of just laying there, I started seeing this purple flame. Basically, it looked like a campfire, but purple. And I'm like, oh, I'm disappointed. I thought this was supposed to be a sensory deprivation tank, and here they are. They're playing this little light gadget, and the thing is, I'm trying to concentrate here, you know. And then also I'm trying to like touch the thing on the wall, and then I realize, oh, it's not on the ceiling wall of the cocoon. It's like in the middle of the thing, and I'm like, I can't brush it away. It's just there, and then it kind of freaked me out. Like, whoa, there's something in here with me. That's the first time I saw the purple flame, and now. Just going into.
I'm sorry, Juicy. I have to cut you there because it's just too funny. So not only you were going there to calm the voices, but now you were seeing things.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make that clear.
No, so I go back to my teacher and I'm like, holy shit, like I'm trying to get a better handle on things, and here I am, like I'm burning up in this purple flame. And she says, no, that's a good thing, man. I'm like, what? Anyways, this was early on in my awakening process, but man, it was amazing. So guys, in the live chat, try it. If you haven't tried it, I'm not saying you're going to see the purple flame, although many people see and feel a lot of different things. As soon as you cut out all the other sensory and you just relax a little bit, you go within. It's kind of like a kick in the ass to get into a deep meditation really, really quick, right? And for a lot of people going into meditations, they're not sure how to do it. They don't know the techniques, or they think, they're restless or whatever. This could be a way. And I think it's $100 for an hour or $80 for an hour. It wasn't like super expensive. But yet I get that it's $80. But anyways, if you guys can try it, if you ever tried to float tank in the chat, let us know. And if you had any weird happenings in there, I'd be curious to see as well. Okay. It's a crazy show. Wow. Why did we start all this? What was in the astrology, Meg? You sent me a chart earlier before.
We were talking about disclosure. We were talking about what's going to be coming up. And then we started sharing all these magical things.
And what was about May 23rd? Why did you give me this chart before the show?
Because that's today.
Yeah.
For me, it's May 24th in Belgium, but for you guys, it's May 23rd Eastern time. And yeah, just to show that we're in Gemini season now. We've got Uranus. It doesn't show up in this chart, but at some point this week, Uranus going into that 20 degrees. So things being revealed about the star people, our star family, our star consciousness. Possible crop circles coming up because Taurus does rule the earth and land. Uranus, star things, ET things in the sign of Taurus. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys how many things are in Taurus right now. Uranus, Mercury, the North Node, and Jupiter in the 10th and 9th house. So we're in a lot of Taurus energies, even though we're in that Gemini season. So really important to stay grounded, get out into nature. Lots of bit of funky energy going on too with Mars exactly opposite Pluto. So definitely the bad guys and the dark side of things want to push us to the limit to get a reaction out of us. They're trying to create chaos. So I think we're being protected from a lot of things. Timeline shifting, certain scenarios aren't allowed to be played out. So going to be very interesting to see what happens in the coming weeks.
Okay, very good. Do you guys feel like taking questions?
Sure.
We're 52 minutes in. I wasn't really paying attention too much to the chat with all of that. Okay, I have a first question. So thank you, Ben, of course, putting it in high caps for me. Guys, if you have questions for Sophie or Meg, yes, please put them in high caps. We'll try to get through a few here before we end the show tonight. Ben is asking, crop circles in an unusual place.
Unusual place.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense, Ben. Totally. Uranus rules what is unusual. In Taurus is places on the earth. In Scorpio, things being revealed. So totally. So maybe not in England or places where we usually see them. I know that's a really big hotspot. Maybe one that's from somewhere totally new and unusual. We'll have to keep our eyes out for that.
Did you hear about the fact that Trump bought some property in Ontario?
No.
I think Janine's going to do a quick chat on her Tarot by Janine on that tonight. So I was wondering, is he buying property? He knows something about maybe UFOs or landings that are coming up, or specific energetic spots that he's been pointing to that perhaps we're going to see these first ETs show up. I'm interested in that. Do you want to pull some cards on that, Meg, to see if that's any of those things are related?
For sure.
Meg me or Meg her?
Sophie, sorry. The other Meg.
The other Meg. Okay, good. You don't deserve a name. Okay, good. Let's see. So you want to know why he bought that land? Is it
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Devil was the first card that was underneath the deck. 10 of Wands. Honestly, there is something about property of land that is going to be really hard to get in the future. 10 of Wands is there, 2 of Wands. So I think he's looking to protect some land, to secure some land. We have the Magician again. So I don't think we're going to have full clarity on what is happening there, but he's trying to protect some land. And I think this is one of the places where he hopes that the politic is not going to affect that much the land.
Wow. Okay.
So something big is happening with, we know that Taurus energy right now is big, as Meg said it already, but it's going to be big also in the future, as maybe we're going to step away from bad food, and we're going to step more into really food that we grow ourselves if we still can, because they're trying to stop that as well. And also trying to be back to nature, basically.
Wow. I'm going to bring up a chart that Julie brought up, I think, last month as we were doing the Astro Woo. I think it was. Lorianne, thank you for that. She says your frequency tonight is breaking the meter on fire. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Jupiter and Taurus. She was talking about land, precious metals, organic food, natural resources, wood, suddenly becoming more valued, I guess. That also means higher prices, but more sought after or more valued. And in there also, she was talking about gold and silver, specifically silver, I think, when we did the show. Do you guys want to pull on that? There's a lot of silver bugs here in this show too. They're all waiting, like, when's that silver going to finally be let loose? By the way, I just got an email from Sean at SGT Report today. He had a huge channel. I think he had 500,000 subscribers, maybe more, on YouTube when he was pulled. And I had done a show with him, Big Swear, and Chris Marcus. It was called the Silver Roundtable a couple of years ago. Anyways, he just emailed me this morning. Says, "Hey man, do you want to do a part 2 of that?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So, anyways, I think we're doing that next week or the week after. So stay tuned, and we'll put up the posters as soon as we can. But that's going to be a big show. We're going to be having a really fun conversation about everything silver, perhaps also gold, but mostly silver. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, let's maybe take a turn at it here, Sophie, while you're on the screen. Silver, are we going to see maybe a spike this month? We're already seeing a lot of tightness in the market, and this $24, $25 mark also was not supposed to be breached. It was breached last month. It's showing that perhaps the manipulators are on their last leg here, trying to keep this price down or the price suppression going. What do the cards say for silver here for maybe the end of this month, moving into June? What would you say?
Okay, so we have 7 of Pentacles. So this is normally somebody waiting for the fruit to be ripe on the image. And we have 10 of Swords. So we're waiting patiently, but it takes a long time to drop. And let's see for the rest of the month. So beginning of June, the Lover and the World. So we're basically, I think it's really obvious for everybody at this point that this is really supposed to be already done. And this is on a ventilator. So this is just keeping the system alive, because it's a need for some people, but it cannot be sustained. It cannot stay like this. So we have the World and we have the Lover. And I think there is a big shift coming. Yes, the timing in the cards, it's never the best with this, but it cannot stay like this. It just cannot. We are reaching the end with a 10 of Swords. It's just taking a long time, but it's a waiting game at this point. It's really happening.
I concur. Okay, Meg, how about you? What's happening with silver?
Yeah, so with silver, I know as an astrologer, with Pluto having gone into Aquarius now, but we're going to have 2 last times of Pluto tottering back into Capricorn until November 2024. We're going to have a crash in between that time, 100%. So whether it is within a month, whether it is 6 months, whether it is in a year from now, we are in a 248-year transit where the whole system is about to crash and be reborn. And precious metals is, what is of value. So it's interesting. So I did pull over the next month, like you asked, JC.
Okay.
And the first card I got is the clouds in the Lenormand, which is confusion, not clarity. So it could go up, but we're not seeing the big, like, whoa, holy crap, where we all wake up in the morning and there's a really big number. But that is coming. The bouquet, that is coming. It is coming. This is like blessings, abundance card. And the Seath is the big cut, the big crash has not taken place yet. So we are still not totally at that point. And also pulled some Doreen Virtue cards, even though Doreen Virtue doesn't like, thinks that we're all evil. I still love her cards. Absolutely love her cards. Interesting. There's something better and helpful people. I feel like the helpful people card is acknowledging JC. I feel like there's no coincidence you're here today and we're talking about it on the show, that people like yourself, JC, have helped so many people wake up to the fact that silver is very valuable to have during these times. And I just want to say thank you to all the work that you've been doing in sharing that information with people. And, you know, Andy and all those guys that work so tirelessly to share. You guys are helpful people to all of us soul family. Like, you guys, this is really happening. They're going to crash the system. Yeah. They're going to try to do, you know, whatever. We won't have to be careful what I say here on YouTube. But yeah. So, and I also want to go back to, just for a second, Trump and buying the land in Ontario, because that's very, very interesting. And that makes me think about how I've studied the chart of Canada inside and out. And I'm convinced as an astrologer that Canada is going to freaking shock the world. We look like we're going down. We've got Justin Castro. It looks like a shit show. It looks like it's going to be one of the worst countries to be in. I think we're going to have a 180 turnaround. I don't think we're talking long off. I'm talking soon. And maybe Trump is privy to that. I pulled some cards on it, and he knows something is of value. It's always hard for him. He knows that Canada is of value. So he's in on something for sure. And from studying the astrology, the chart of Canada, Canada is a Sun conjunct Uranus exact at a Scorpio degree in the sign of Cancer. So Uranus is freedom and shocks and surprises. Canada has to go through the Scorpio dark night of the soul to get into that freedom place. And Canada has not had, you know, a 1776 like the US, all our American friends out there. Karmically, your country has already gone through that process. Canada, we have not gone through that process yet. So that's what we're in right now. I think Trump knows something about that. And Canada is going to be valuable. I get a lot of projections at me because right now, personally, my fiance and I are going to be moving back to Canada from Belgium. And I'm getting a lot of projection. What's that?
I said yes.
Congrats. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And we're getting a lot of projections on us, like, why are you going back to Canada? It's a tyranny. It's going down. But we're feeling gut level and looking at the astrology. Nope. It's not going down. It's going to shock everybody. So
I've had a lot of friends who in the last couple of years have moved out because of, you just mentioned, you know, the dictatorship and other reasons, but mostly that. And the fact that, you know, the country is broken, as Pierre Poliver says. And people have asked me, well, why are you staying? You have the means, you can move, you're like, you know, and to some extent I could. I mean, I'm still taking care of my parents who are older, who live close by. So that's still part of the reason I'm here. But the main reason I'm still here is like, no, this place is worth fighting for. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I kept getting that message. Don't move. No, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. As ugly as it is, whereas, you know, not what's the word? Not third. No, as second-class citizen, might I feel because of my political and health beliefs over the last 2 years, I still feel that I'm very much where I'm supposed to be. So for whatever that's worth, I hope you guys watching the show, I feel the same way, and we'll stand here and fight and recreate that amazing place that Meg is just talking about now, that is around the corner for us here. Before I go to the next question, and it goes something like this: what's the holdup on the silver And I have perhaps the target point. I'm going to have you guys pull on that. But before I do that, I want to show you one of my not my favorite, but one of my first Oracle decks. You're going to laugh. Hold on.
That's what I have.
You have it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. From Doreen?
Except yours is way more valuable. This is my Taurus rising talking because you have Doreen Virtue on there. I just have Radley Valentine because this is a new published one.
Okay. And then this one. I love this one. I taught the kids with this one.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't had, do you have this one?
I used to have that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. This one is really cool, that last one, because I don't really read the descriptions, just the artwork. It brings you like into trippy places and you get downloads and it's like really, really cool. I love that one. So guys, just rewind the tape, take snapshots if you want to get those decks. But yeah, the Doreen Virtue ones are hard to find now. You can't get them new anymore anyways. Okay, so the last question, what was the hold up? And I think when I first started the show, so on the first channel, before we got deleted, one of the questions, and I forget who it was, it might have been Jenny Moonstone. It might have been, there's another psychic, I forget. And I was asking about silver, when would it be unleashed? And they had told me, oh, it won't be unleashed until this stuff comes out. So let me see if I can bring, oh, sorry, I have the wrong one. Hold on. Share a screen. I have to change slide decks here from another day. This one here. So that silver wouldn't be unleashed until this stuff came out. And it very much looks like we're almost there now, right? So here, Elon Musk is asking for the complete list. You guys can read the rest of that title. We're seeing more news now that perhaps that guy there was a double agent of sorts. So perhaps a lot of that information was being used to entrap a lot of these people, not necessarily to bribe them for money, but to maybe have political control over them, and that perhaps some of their bad deeds would come back to light here in some of these trials that apparently could actually be going on right now. And we're getting information about this guy again earlier this week, so that's interesting here too, how that all ties in.
That and we had in the Psychic Spy also. We talked about it in the Psychic Spy, and now it's all coming up in surface.
Exactly. You were like a month ahead on this one too, and I think it was this show. I said, hey, can you imagine if what she just said is going to happen in the news? You guys are going to be rock stars. But yeah, it appears we're almost at that timeline. So I want both of you to pull on this, cards or intuition, whatever you want to do, in terms of, is this the holdup for eventually having that silver gold go ballistic? Was that the last piece that needs to come out? And if so, is it actually coming out now? Or are we just being mind fucked with this news? Or is this leading somewhere here down the road really, really fast? Let's start with you, Meg.
Okay. So the total clarity is not here yet because we are in the Mercury shadow period, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Opposition, confrontation. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure all of you guys, I am just so at the edge of my seat for all of this stuff to come out and just be played out. It is so past due. So we just got to be careful of some of the information coming out. Not all of the information is out yet. There's still a lot more to come out and digest. And it's happening. Spirit's saying this is happening in the slow way it's happening for the normies to be able to digest it. It's not for us. It's for the other people that are a little bit behind on the information train.
Yeah.
And sorry, did you want to say something, JC?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's interesting partnership. All of the partnerships, the secret partnerships, like Bill Gates and that girl that looks like Greta Thunberg, but isn't Greta Thunberg. She's like a tennis player or something. Who is that? Something like that. She's like
a bridge player? Bridge player?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All the partnerships, all the lies, all the deception, Spirit is saying, is going to be coming out. More and more and more. They're showing me like a tsunami actually rising, all this information. Then it's just going to get to a point where it's too much and it all crashes. But we're still not right at that point. Yeah, that's what I'm being shown right now.
Okay. Do I want to ask Sophie maybe to try to drill down on when are we going to be closer to that point, seeing as that seems to be the baseline here of what's happening? Do you want to pull on that, Sophie?
Well, I pulled the cards already on
Okay.
what was the hold up, and I have that nobody wants to be in a position of vulnerability when this happens.
Yeah.
So this is what I have: 9 of Wands, reverse position of vulnerability position, and we have Queen of Pentacles. So this is really much about your value in this world after the fact, and how your money, also your resources and your contacts after the fact. We have the Hierophant, so we know it's a system. And look at you were talking about timing. Look at this card, how interesting it is. It is 1 minute to midnight, and this person look at the clock and it's running. So time is really, it's ticking. So we know that it's really coming fast, but everybody is trying to be in a best position before this hits.
Yeah. Wow. That's exactly what our friend was forecasting earlier today. Let me see if I can bring up that video from 2 p.m. this afternoon. This one here, the Quick Draw Tuesday, in terms of having your stores ready right now, being prepped, not just for you, but for everybody else. This is probably that last moment where we have an opportunity to do that here, moving very soon. So, wow, fascinating. Thank you for that. There's a couple of comments I want to acknowledge before we go. Let's see if I can go back to the bottom here. Maggie, first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And honestly, I feel the same way because of you guys, Sophie and Meg, but also you guys watching the show. We have created this family here because all of us here on the screen and in the show, we're all in the same position where we've been kind of ostracized and marginalized for being awake. And it's been a tough haul. And so being together here really means a lot to everyone. So Maggie, thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that. Eric, JC, what's happening with Jim Willie? I miss the Golden Jackass. Well, funny enough, let me see if I can bring up the other slide deck here. Hold on a second. I've got some great news for you. As if perhaps you were a psychic, my dear friend. Let me see. Share this one here. Does that work? Yes. And where did it go? Hold on. I miss... I'm not used to doing this anymore. Hold on. Where did it go? This one here. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. We're doing this live. Yes, this is another advertising for Caitlyn Jenner. Go check it out. Really good show. Okay, yes, look at this. Jim Willie. He'll be back tomorrow for a very special report. It's going to be live, both for pay-per-view audience members and also, of course, for the Insider Access Pass membership. So in the Insider Access Pass, if you guys log in, you'll always see, already see the poster and the live link. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You guys don't want to miss that. We're really going to get into this economic warfare, the last battles that are playing out right now, what that means for you in terms of what both Sophie and Meg just said about prepping to. We're going to get into that in a big way tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Okay. What was what? Let's see. There was another comment. Forgot to bring it up. GC is live on the Galactic Federation of World Information Channel. Yeah, okay. That's cool. I'd love to see the ratings. Where do I go to see the ratings? What planet is watching? I'm curious which star system is watching. Okay.
You're going to know at breakfast.
Hey, what's that?
You're going to know more about this in breakfast.
At breakfast? Okay.
Yeah.
Really cool. Oh, guys, man, we're already an hour 12 into it. Anything else you guys wanted to share before we go? Sophie or Meg, do you want me to start with you, Sophie? Any words of wisdom, or do you want to do a poll?
I will do a poll. Yeah.
Meg, do you want to do maybe astrology for the next week to kind of give us a glimpse on what might be coming down the pike?
Yes, I'll have my Beyond Astro tomorrow, so I'll get really deep into that. But yeah, we've got that Mars opposite Pluto, you guys. So we just want to take it easy and pay attention. Be careful what situations you put yourself into. This is really easy to, and I'm not being negative, it's just the astrology of what it is. Mars and Pluto, the two malefics, exactly opposite each other the first time with Pluto in Aquarius. This is where I keep getting the dark side. Guys want us to freak out and be in a chaotic place. So just remain calm, take a bath if possible, just chill out with the people you love. Listen to some music, just enjoy, and don't get caught up in drama. There's people that are not conscious at the moment are going to get really on edge and may just have freakouts. I've been hearing clients and friends saying that they're having freakouts out of nowhere with this Mars opposite Pluto. So take it easy. And if anyone projects things onto you this week that really seems out of left field, or someone that usually wouldn't do something like that, just know that the energy is a little funky with that opposition. But I'll talk more about all this tomorrow.
So tomorrow, guys, you guys can tune in for that. It's going to be on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. The poster is not up yet, but it'll be tomorrow at noon, and you'll also be able to watch it live on the Rumble feed as well. A big thank you again to you guys watching on Rumble here tonight. Please remember to follow there. And also, if you're watching here on YouTube, please jump over to the Rumble channel. Let me bring the link down here as well for you guys. Just in case, we're hearing news here that there might be even more censorship on the economic front here, as this is one of the last battles coming out. So we want to be careful. So if we disappear from YouTube, you'll know where to find us on Rumble. So there's a link now in the live chat. And Connie says, thank you so much. JCTV, thank you so much. Sophie, how about you? Last words before we go.
Yes. So for this week, I'm looking at the cards that I just pulled for this week energy. So we had Pamper Yourself. This is going to go with the first card of Hold Your Head High for this week. So it is going to be a challenging week, but it doesn't need to feel like this. So pretend until you make it, fake it until you make it. Okay. Yeah. So make sure that you feel good about what you are wearing. Make sure that you are always dressed nicely, just for you, just for your energy. And maybe also perfume. It's just about you feeling good, and you're going to show it to the world, and it's going to show up also in your vibration. It says stay wild and free, so do things for yourself. Make sure that you are also washing away the old. So make sure that this week you put yourself in a danger zone. So I'm saying this, I'm not wanting to put you in the physical danger, of course, but do what scares you. Get out of your comfort zone this week. And Meg was saying, be careful about this. So it doesn't need to be in the treaty. Don't put yourself physically in danger. Maybe do just a hypnosis about what scares you, or visualize it so you can manifest it. Visualize yourself in a place that you want to go, maybe, or where you want to be next in your vibration, but maybe it scares you. Maybe it's the next step for you. So just put your vibration higher and fake it until you make it.
Wow, that's great advice. And did you realize I forgot to share with you guys tonight the wonderful pyramid that we're giving away. So first, let me play the video, and then we're gonna play some type of game here to choose a live winner. So don't go anywhere. If you're still here watching with us live now, we got about 800 on Rumble and 1,500, I guess, on YouTube. So 2,300 people watching live. That's a great number. Thank you so much, everyone. Please hit that like button, and let's hear what Carla has to say about this pyramid giveaway here this evening.
Hey everybody, this is Carla from Ascension Organized with another new design for you. Her name is Aurora. So Aurora was created together with Hermes the same day. You could say that they were born at the same time. And she embodies Atlantis energies. That's exactly what I got as soon as I got her out of the mold. So she is made of white milky quartz and seashells together with brass metals. So white milky quartz is a great master healer stone. It's great for amplifying any stone that is near it. Great for grounding, body, mind, and soul, healing, any intention that you basically set her to. And seashell, because it holds the power of the ocean and the energies of the ocean. I'll give her a quick turnaround so you can see her. Like her, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you guys soon.
I very much like Aurora. I love that pyramid. Guys, if you're looking at getting one of these in your own possession, you can do so at ascensionorganites.com. There you can find the whole library here of all these beautiful designs and products from Carla. And of course, if you use the coupon code BeyondMystic there, you'll get an extra 10% off of these amazing creations. Now, the question at heart. How the hell are we going to give this away tonight? What do you guys feel? Do we want to do a contest? Do we want to ask a question to you? Oh, I love Meg when she goes like this.
Let's ask it.
It's like her physical body tingling with questions. Do you remember? You know what that looks like? To me, you remind me of that guy from the commercial in the 80s or 90s. What was it called? Sinfully Delicious. Do you remember? He was going like this.
Delicious.
I think it's. I'll look for the commercial. Anyways, so what do you guys think? How are we going to give this away tonight? And I also have a pyramid. Sorry, I also have a candle. God damn it! I'm having trouble speaking tonight. It must be a retrograde. We're gonna do my favorite tonight. So I believe that's the Earth one. So we're also gonna give away a candle. So we need 2 winners tonight before we go away from the live show. So what do you think, Meg? What do we do?
What's the name of the person who's not here today on the show that's usually here?
The first one that types that into the live chat.
Who's here that's usually here?
Who's here that's usually here?
Yeah.
Who's here?
And in the Divine Feminine Oracles.
Who's here that's not usually?
Rebecca Lockie. Oh, so many Julies all at once, but the first person I saw that said it was Rebecca Lockie.
Okay, hold on. Let me scroll up.
222. Oh, for
this
me,
one.
22.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rebecca Lockie. So is that the pyramid or the candle we're giving away? The pyramid first?
The pyramid first.
Pyramid first. Okay, Rebecca, congratulations. You just won the pyramid. I don't have your email, Rebecca. So if you go to BeyondMystic.net, so let me see if I can bring that up on the screen for you guys. And just go to the top page here about, there's a tech support form. Just fill that in. And in the subject line, say winner of the pyramid. And I'll forward that to Carla so she can get your mailing address and all that stuff. Okay, so Rebecca Lockie, congratulations for the pyramid. Now, the next question.
I have one.
You have one? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to draw one card that is going to be only major arcana. So don't go with the minor arcana. So the major one, there's 22. And the first one to type it, and GC, I'm going to write it in the private chat.
Okay.
The first one that has it, win the candle.
Okay.
And if nobody has it, I will describe it. I will start to describe it.
Okay. Do you understand do you guys, Meg, do you understand the contest? Repeat what you understand so that the audience members understand. Go ahead.
That Sophie is going to pick a major arcana card from the tarot. So you guys feel what major arcana she's going to pick, and she's going to explain.
Okay. Stop. Everybody's typing it already. I'm not going to be able to go back and scroll that far. It's going too fast.
Rumble, JC? This time?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll do. Okay, you're right. We'll do. Okay. Are they already typing it in, though? No. Okay.
So.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So I just typed the answer, GC.
Okay. So now I'm going to look on the Rumble feed here, and I'm going to go.
And it's only a major arcana, not the minor one.
Okay. Okay, so far I don't see it. Keep going, guys. See if
Oh.
Is that the first one there?
Amy Faye.
Amy Faye. Okay.
Yep.
So it was the star card. You have it? You want to show it, Sophie?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Star card.
Okay, so Amy Faye, if you want to send me an email, you're the winner of the pyramid. No, the candle, the Earth candle. Yeah, so we'll send that to Elena and Julie so that they can mail that out to you. So congratulations, Amy Faye, for that. Let me go see.
That's fun to do it like that.
Should we do a third prize?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give away a 1-year Insider Access Pass membership. That's a big one, right? Everybody's like, whoa, are you serious?
That is a big one.
Okay, so I'm going to scan both chat at the same time. I'm going to try to look at the YouTube feed and the Rumble feed as well. But let me bring that up. So,
this is, I have to say, this is so Jupiter and Taurus right now. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, so yeah, so it's going to work both ways. So if you're already an IAP member, it'll give you an extra year to whatever membership term you have now. Okay, so if you're not an IAP member, it will start as soon as I get your contact info and I'll create an account for you guys. So my question is, okay, you guys ready? Do I do a drum roll? Okay, wait, I have to open up the other window. So we have to see really quickly here if the, okay, I have both chats. scrolling at the same time. Okay, Carol says, wow, that would be amazeballs. Yeah, okay, Carol, good luck. The question is, going back to my book, what is it made of? There's 2 words you're looking for. My book from earlier in the show, what is it made of?
Wow.
Okay, one person has one of the words. Oh, I guess it's a winner. I guess, yeah, hold on. Yeah, wait, I'm looking for the first one here. Yeah, I believe the first one is Christine K. Christine K. There you go. Congratulations, Christine. You're a winner of an Insider Access Pass 1 year full membership, giving you access, of course, to all of the beautiful products there, including the Psychic Spies series that Meg and Sophie are doing so well with. Absolutely amazing show. And also coming up this month, we were delayed because Janine was moving, but her Janine channeling shows, those are going to be IAP exclusive shows also. So that's coming up later this month. I believe we're recording the first ones next week, she told me. So you'll be looking forward to that as well. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. That was a cool show. Where do I go from here? Oh, yes. Somebody asked earlier, there was a question in the live chat. What kind of reading do I need to kind of get on my mission? So let me bring up your posters there for both of your readings. I think I had started that comment earlier in the chat. Did you guys see that? Booking. I don't see it now. It's probably scrolled up. But somebody was asking, what would be my best type of reading right now? What should I be looking for in order to get on mission or to be activated? I believe was the words. I'll start with you, Meg. What do you think? From your perspective, the 2 products you have now, what would you say?
Definitely the birth chart reading as a primer to see why you've come here, who you are at the soul level, what's your strength, what's your mission. Definitely the birth chart.
Okay, very good. So guys, you can find that at MAISONJupiter.com, of course, coupon code BeyondMystic. And Sophie, in terms of the same thing, activating on your mission and all that, what would be the best reading here for you, and how would you approach that reading for that individual?
That's always the first question everybody asks in their first appointment.
Right.
So this is always...
It's kind of what you do.
Yes, and I use the natal chart. I use it because if we want to spend a whole hour on what is my mission, and I can go past life with this, looking at 2 of your past life and connecting the dots with what your soul is made of, what you have learned, and where are you connecting the dots with what is still with you, recurring themes, and what is your evolution, and what are you going through right now. So it tells you what is your mission, but we have to understand what is a mission first, because many people have under the impression that a mission is a job.
Yeah.
Or that your natal chart or that your soul has done only one way, a precise way of being on your mission. There's many ways to be on your mission.
Okay, very good. So guys, again, MAISONJupiter.com if you want to get a reading with both Sophie and Meg. And before we go also, did you guys want to pull from the audience members to see who you guys are reading next on the Psychic Spies? Did you want to do that on this show? Yeah. Did you want to... Yeah? Okay. So the last show, of course, Caitlyn Jenner. How do you guys want to set this up? Like, you want them to tell you who they want you to read next? Or do you know who you want to read, but you want a title for the show? How do you want to present this?
Sophie, let me know, but I'd love to see what all our soul family out there would like us to do a Psychic Spies investigation on, our next investigation.
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can bring that down.
And I will take notes for your list.
Eric says Trump. Yeah, we haven't done Trump. That'd be interesting. Okay. Big Mike. Okay. Right. That could be a good one. Chris Guy, please. Okay. Canadian political figure. That could be interesting. Donald J. Trump. Yeah, a lot of people are asking for Trump already.
We've already done Bill Gates.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves. Ooh,
that's
Hitler.
We talked
Klaus Schwab.
Yeah. DeSantis.
Jean-Claude. Somebody says.
You guys want to read on me.
Doreen Virtue.
Doreen Virtue. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa says, hey, the last Psychic Spy show was awesome. I agree. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, go support the girls here. They put a lot of research in this
Epstein.
Which one? Epstein. Okay.
In the Rumble, a lot of people saying Epstein.
Somebody was saying Ivanka. I guess Ivanka Trump. Nikola Tesla. Did you guys? No, you didn't do Tesla yet.
He's on the list already.
Elon Musk probably too. That should be coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Okay. Let's see what's coming up in the Rumble. I'll see if we can put this up. King Solomon. Ooh, that could be interesting.
King Solomon.
Yeah. So if you go back to the show I had with Jay Weiner the other day, we were talking about these entities, these plasma beings, and King Solomon would control them with his iron ring. So there was something about the iron and the geometry of the symbols on King Solomon's ring where he would trap these, what some people call jinn, or what we were referring to as plasma beings, and how these jinn are still among us today. So this is not just old folklore. This is very much known today, even to the space program. So really fascinating stuff. That could be a really cool one too. RFK Jr. Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of people say Doreen Virtue, and I'm kind of surprised by that because I was excited. We put that down on our list, but now that I'm seeing a lot of you guys say that, definitely we got to do an episode on her.
Well, you guys have to go watch Julie and Meg's last Astro Decode, I believe. Was it last week or the week before? Yeah, you guys talked about a little bit of Doreen's life here at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we weren't planning it. Just came up totally naturally.
Yeah. So go check that out too. Okay. So what do you think? You guys have what you need?
Yeah.
Jesse Waters. Okay, interesting.
So many good suggestions. I don't know. What do you feel like, Sophie? What do you think are some good ones? Or should we pick one now for next week?
I think something will come up in the news also. So some of them are really, really interesting, and I would like to commit to one, but I feel like something may come up in the news. So
okay, so take notes of both the chats here on Rumble and YouTube, and also in the next couple of days, it appears that we might have some weird news coming out. So you want to leave some space there to maybe.
Perry Lake. That's a really good one. Sorry to interrupt you, JC. Perry Lake. That's a really nice one, Marilyn.
Very good one as well. Yeah, I agree. The Apostle Paul, Mr. Bill. Interesting. A lot of people are asking for DeSantis too. Yeah, there's a lot of interest in that guy. Interesting. Okay, really cool. What else do I have? I think we're almost done. Well, let me ask the audience members. First of all, did you like the show? If you like the show, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And also, so a few people said during the show, and I was paying attention, that there was something about the show tonight here where the frequency was high, but it was also activating people. I saw that keys were going about. People were being activated by some keywords that we were using, perhaps some of the dreams that we were sharing with you guys. So I want you to write a comment, not in the live chat now, but as soon as we finish the show, in the comment sections below, ask us what the takeaway was for you. If anything struck you about the ET conversations, about the book conversation, the emolets, anything that struck you about maybe getting into your own mission, I want to know about it. So leave us a comment below, and Sophie, Meg, and I will be reading those here in the next couple of days, and we'll see. Maybe we'll be back at it next week, of course, because I believe, am I right? Yes, I'm hosting this again with you guys next week. Julie is back, I think, on that same day, so she's missing the cutoff day. So I will be hosting this one again next week with you guys here on May 30th. Man, what a fun show. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Merci beaucoup, Sophie. Thank you so much, Meg, for being here tonight. And thank you to everyone watching the show. I absolutely love you guys. This was the Divine Feminine Oracle Show, and I'm Jean-Claude, BeyondMystic. I love you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Thank you. Bye.